So, can you own a high energy dog and still work a 9 to 5? It's a big question, and one I think more people need to ask before bringing a working breed home. These days, more and more full time professionals are choosing dogs like Border Collies, German Shepherds, and if you're really brave, Belgian Malinois. But is that really fair on the dog? Can you truly meet their needs and still expect them to chill at home all day while you're at work? Well, that's exactly what we're going to try and find out in this video. But first, a little bit of honesty. I believe most dogs, especially working breeds, need far more input than people expect. And if you're working long hours and planning to leave your dog alone all day, maybe a Tamagotchi would have been a safer bet. And that's not a dig, just a heads up for anyone thinking about diving into this lifestyle. That said, if you already have a high drive dog and you're committed to making it work, if you're genuinely willing to do what it takes, then stick around because I'm about to show you the exact strategy that I would use to physically and mentally exhaust my high energy dog before heading out for the day.
Hey guys, just a very quick one from Ranger and I just need 30 seconds of your time. Firstly, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has watched our videos over the last 6 months. The channel has grown exponentially to the point that YouTube are actually now paying us. So every time you watch one of our videos, YouTube pays us money, which is great. But we don't want that money. We don't want that money. We didn't sign up for the money. We signed up to make great dog training content. So what we're going to do is we're going to give every single penny of that money away to charity each and every month. And we'll post on a wall which charity the money goes to on any particular month. So if you do have any recommendations for great charities that are doing great work with dogs, of course, then let us know in the comments and we will make sure that the money that YouTube is giving us is going to the right places. And the second thing I wanted to say is still 75% of you that regularly watch this channel have still not yet subscribed. So do me a favor so we can make more money for dogs that need it and also allow this channel to grow with more exposure so we can have better guests on, we can make you better videos. If you do me the favor of subscribing to this channel, I will promise you I will work tirelessly and Ranger will work tirelessly to bring you the best dog training content possible for free. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts and enjoy the rest of the video.
So you've gone and got yourself a high drive working dog and you've got to go to work and you're going to try and make sure, one, you're meeting their needs, two, they're not going to destroy your house, and three, you're essentially not neglecting your dog, right? And so first thing I'm going to say is get up earlier. Stop scrolling on TikTok, get off Instagram, go to bed early. Right, get out of bed early, get shit done with your dog. We've got up at 6 o'clock this morning. We're doing work at 9 o'clock. That gives me an hour to exercise my dog, hour to get ready to work, and then an hour to get to work. So, like I said before, if you didn't want to put the effort in, you should have got a house plan. 80% of having a dog is just putting in effort. We've got up early today. I'm going to do an hour's exercise with my dog, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to split that up. I'm going to give you a couple of little trade secrets as well, just kind of help you kind of get more, again, like more bang for your buck in terms of how much time we've got versus like how much can we truly exhaust my dog. So the first thing I'm going to start with, I'm going to start my watch in a second, is always going to be play. I'm going to take the edge off my dog and satiate certain drives, their prey drive, the defensive drive, the social drive via play. And so I'm just in my garden here. I don't need buckets and buckets of space. I'm just going to play with my dog. And I'm going to throw in just a couple of different elements to make sure it's just not a willy-nilly chase the ball, bring it back, chase the ball, bring it back, right? Now, Stark's a Malinois. Technically, he's a bull herder, really a Malinois. So super high drive, all the energy in the world. I compete in sport with him. So if we can do it for this dog, chances are we probably do it for any dog. So without further ado, I'll shut up and I'm just going to play with my dog. Get it? Good boy. Stack up. Good boy. Whoa. 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 Now we don't have to go through the whole 15-minute session here. Whoa. Whoa. Good boy. Drop. But implementing out obedience into play is the difference between play being like superficial and just like your dog going into autopilot, chasey, versus demonstrating impulse control, drop, problem solving, having to use their brain. Lad. So I'll throw in a little bit of obedience. Now you don't need the fancy obedience here. Drop. Down. Get it? And it might just be as much as just throwing in a down in there. Throwing in a sit and then throwing the toy. And I've been through all of this in videos before, and if you do need any help building motivation for toys. I don't want to hear in the comments, oh, what if my dog doesn't care about food? What if my dog doesn't care about toys? We have given you a step-by-step guide on how to create toy and food motivation. The link is in the description. The free behavior Bible is there for you. It'll cover all the foundations, so you have the tools to follow all of our videos with as much efficacy as possible, and you have the tools to be able to really create drastic behavioral change in your dog. Start here, drop, heel. So I might throw in a little bit of obedience, heel. Again, you don't need all the fancy stuff. As long as, good lad. As long as the dog's just like using his head in some capacity and we're not going in autopilot, just willy-nilly throwing around, stuck here. Drop. Get it. Again, not going to go through the intricacies of how we achieve all of this. I've already done that for you. If I did it in every video, it would just get boring. But drop. Main points out of this is going to be, oh, good lad, good lad. Good boy. Oof. Good boy. Oof. Ooh, delta. Good boy. Delta. Echo. Thank lad. Don't worry too much about my commands and all the rest of it. You'll hear me say a bunch of funny words that we use for the sport in which we compete in, so we don't poison them in real life. Out. Now, here's the importance of creating motivation, drive, and desire in your dog, because when you have motivation, drive, and desire, it opens up opportunity of how much you can do with your dog. So if you didn't care about the toy, then I can't get the most out of play. And so, drop. I've got to ensure that my dog wants the things I have by not giving him ready access to them, so I can then utilize them to meet his needs. Drop. If I went and had a bunch of these toys scattered around the house all day, quickly they're going to lose their value. And quickly my dog's not going to give a shit about them anymore. And if I bring him out here and I say, get it? And he's like, I don't want to get it. I'll fuck around and play with it in the living room. And then I've missed an opportunity with my dog. Drop. Withholding your dog's access to certain things is not cruel. It's enabling, because of, get it? Now I can make a better effort at creating like an exercise dint, as we call it. Drop. Delta. Good lad. Delta. Front. Good lad. Front. Tango. Good boy. Good boy. Clever clogs. Oh. And there's the tug in there. Obviously that's gonna drop. Work on his competitive side. Ooh. Oh, clever boy. You're very strong. You'll hear me speaking to him. You'll see me getting into genuine contest with him. And we take the game much beyond a game of fetch. A game of fetch isn't really a game. I guess it is, right? But again, you see the dog stuck in autopilot, not really doing anything. So adding these different facets to the game, out, that, out. And you'll hear me like make a little funny noise, and that's my YES marker. I'll try and do it nice and loud now for you. There you go. So we're going to play a little bit longer, and then once we've done that and we've made our first little dent, I'll show you what we're going to do next. Woof. And the three exercises I'm going to show you, they work best in conjunction with each other. Drop. And the last one especially is really like the icing on the cake. That's the difference between getting your dog to nap for half an hour to an hour to then being like really knackered all day, right? So when you then do go to work, if you are in that situation, which again I've said I don't recommend, but if you are in that situation, you got that peace of mind. Your dog isn't stressing, dog isn't ripping anything up, your dog is happy and content in themselves because they're just sleeping all day, right? And if you go to work and your dog sleeps all day, then you shouldn't feel guilty, because if your dog is just happy to sleep all day. Now, is this a little bit more than I'd regularly do with a dog in any one session? Yeah, it is, but we've got to adjust things every now and then to make room for people's situations and things like that. Yeah? What else can you do? What else you want to show the nice people at home? Alpha. Good lad. Papa. Down. Alpha. Down. Mike. Nice. Oof, good lad. Oh, he's so strong. He's so strong. He's so strong. Out. And by all means, I'm not expecting them to be a master at any of this sort of stuff, but it's worthwhile focusing on, not for the reason that you need this type of obedience in real life. Because realistically, you need a loose lead walk, you need a recall, you need a place command, and then you're probably sound. However, we like to do this with our dogs, especially our working dogs and things like that, just to mentally test them. We need to implement the element of progressive overload. You go to the gym, you bench 50 kilos, the next week you're going to bench 55. To stress your muscles adequately in order to see improvement. Same for our dog's brain. So every little session we're going to make things harder. We're going to teach our dog something new. We're going to do something else with our dog. Lad, good boy. And I'm not putting the toy in front of his face and marching around to tease him. It's just to test him. It's to make things hard for him, and he's got to go, God, I really want that toy, but I'm not allowed right now. I really want that toy, and he's waiting for the cue to go. All of this comes under like mental exercise. It can't just be willy-nilly chase. So add in some impulse control into games. We can show you how to do that. If you click the link in the description, the Behavior Bible, it's free. It's completely free. There's so much content in there. Any other dog trainer would genuinely charge you hundreds of pounds for it. But for me, it's the foundations of all things good when it comes to dog training, behavior modification. So it's there for you for free, so you can get the most out of our videos. Out. And it saves me posting about the same thing each and every week. Drop. Heel. Alpha. Tango. Stuck yo. Tango. Down. That's shite. Down. Alpha. Tango. Papa. Down. Mike. Echo. Papa. Down. Tango. Good man. Good lad. Out. Alpha. Alpha. Tango. Good boy. Alpha. Alpha. Papa. Alpha. Tango. Stuck over. Oh, you clever. Tango. Good boy. You clever boy. You clever boy. Out. Delta. Tango. Down. Papa. Mike. Which is stand. Papa is sit. Papa. Bravo is down. Bravo. And Tango is you're allowed to get it. Tango. Good man. Good boy. Good boy. You're my clever boy. Out. Whoa. Like I said, we're showing off a bit now, but it doesn't need to be this to this degree. Like I did with the sort of stuff with Ranger last week, it might be as simple as putting your dog into a sit. Ready? Watch him. Watch him. Oh, he's scary. Oh, he's very scary. Tango. I give him his bite command then, so you see him get fired up a little bit. Out. You get a little bit angry. Delta. Do it again. Let's see if we can switch him on to bite work. Watch him. And then control it. Down. Delta. Watch him. You wouldn't bite at me, would you? Tango. Stuck Alpha. Tango. Good man. Good man. Clever clogs. Out. Now we're really showing off. Switching the dog into aggression and out. And again, you don't need any of this. You don't need any of this. You guys at home might find it interesting. Out. Alpha. Wrong one. Alpha. Clever. Clever. Alpha. Eyes on me, bird. Lad. You can have the toy. Clever boy. All right, we're at the, I don't know how long. Yeah. Getting there. Out. He's getting pretty tired. But we're still less than 15 minutes, I think. You know, we've still got a lot of exercise to get through. Out. Delta. Watch him. Watch him. Watch him. Echo. Good boy. Oh, clever boy. Clever boy. All right, that is our play session over. Let's move on to the next part of our exercise routine. Come on, bud. We're going to start the stopwatch. We're going to go for a walk. We're going to aim for around 30 minutes. But before we go, you will notice I'm going to do this walk off a lead. Now, we did a couple of unofficial scientific studies with some of our clients recently, whereby some walk their dogs on a lead, some walk their dogs off a lead. The dogs that walk off a lead covered 3 times as much ground as the dogs that were on a lead. Of course, dogs are going to move more compared to a human. And so I'm always going to aim for this walk to be off a lead. However, the caveat there is your dog needs recall, right? You'll notice for the keen-eyed viewers, Stark's actually got his e-collar on, and I've got the remote in my pocket, and I'm going to honestly and transparently tell you how many times I have to use the e-collar on this next 30-minute walk. I'm not going to get into the politics around e-collars for now. The dog has amazing recall. You've seen he has really good impulse control, equipment on, equipment off. I've proved that 1,000 times on this channel. Same with all my other dogs, from Lenny, Kobe, the little sausage dog, so on and so forth. But it is there as an insurance. Where we're about to walk now, there are deer, there are pheasants, there are other dogs, there's the heron that hangs around in the river, and so that's there for him, for me, as insurance. But also, and most importantly, it allows me to enable him to enjoy an off-lead walk and just get more bang for his buck when it comes to the time in which we've got. So we've done loads of content on that sort of stuff before. Again, it's going to talk about it a little bit more in the behavior Bible. If you haven't got recall just yet, that's absolutely fine. You do this walk on lead. I've got my stopwatch. We'll zoom in, Susie, if we can get it. Got it? Mm-hmm. And we're going to start. Let's go for a walk. I'm going to let him keep his ball. And yeah, the aim of the game now is just to get as many steps in as we can during this walk, before we move on to our third and final part of our exercise routine, which, like I said earlier, the real dial mover, the difference between exercising your dog and really tiring them out. Let's go. Hey, tired? Tired, Walima? 3 minutes. So we're kind of around the 15-minute mark of our walk, and so we're halfway through our whole exercise routine. He's buggered off. Stark here! We're halfway through our exercise routine. I'm having a good time. He's having a good time. It is raining and wet because we're in England and the weather's just shit here all the time. However, I've kind of duped you as the audience here. I'm trying to demonstrate the importance, how enabling good obedience can be for your dog. The fact that he's going to come back when he's cold, the fact that he's going to come around from corners, the fact that I can recall him, the fact he's not going to go and chase all the birds and the herons and the ducks down at the river means then he can go in the river and just get so much more out of this walk. And so I just want to stress today how enabling obedience training is for your dog. By obedience training, I mean come back when you're called, stay when you're told to stay, don't pull me around on the lead. And once you have those things, the world in which you're able to give your dog opens up exponentially. And so in our channel, there's exercises, tutorials, drills to master all of that, as well as the link in the description for the Behavior Bible, which is a free course for you guys to be able to give your dog this. Now, if you didn't care about toys, then we wouldn't have got much out of a play. Now, if you didn't have recall, we wouldn't have got as much out of this walk. Granted, I could do it on a long line. And that's what I would recommend you guys doing. If your dog doesn't have great recall yet, just put the dog on a long line and just let him mooch and explore there. This is the foundation of having a well-behaved dog, even if you don't work 9 to 5 at home and you've got a reactive dog, you've got an anxious dog. Getting up early, getting the steps in, getting the work done is a cornerstone of having a happy, healthy dog. Fuck TikTok off, fuck Instagram off, don't be scrolling in bed at night time. Get to bed early, get to bed at 9 o'clock, get up at 6 o'clock, get your dog out for an hour, then get ready for work, go to work, follow the routine I'm about to show you. When we get back from our exercise this morning, we're going to put a camera in the dog room, Stark's bedroom essentially, and watch him and see what he does. Let's see if this has been effective. Let's put it to the test and we'll share the results with you guys at the end of this video. All right, come on, let's go. Ooh. Good boy. Just drop. Whoosh. Oh, it's there. You've lost it. It's bloody sank, Stark. Oh, no. Oh, that's a blooper. Oh, dear. Right, let's go old school. Let's find you a stick. We did just litter. We did just, you know, create environmental damage by throwing plastic, you know, in the river. And for that, I can only apologise because he's an idiot and he didn't see it. Will you chase a stick? I don't know whether he will. I don't know whether he ever has. Caveat, be careful with sticks. That's a disclaimer. Ready? Go on then. Got to stick to the right of the river. The left-hand side of the river got quite a fast current. However, it's only about knee deep, so you get a little bit further down there and he could just walk out. So if you live in some mad country with crocodiles or fucking sharks or I don't know whatever you guys got in your country, but be careful, because I'll get someone in the comments saying, yeah, but I live in Australia and there's fucking saltwater crocodiles. Well, I don't know, do I? I'm not a zoologist. We're at the 20-minute mark, guys, of our morning walk. Right, I'll throw in a rock that you'll think you can chase, but you'll realise it's not there, and at least you get to swim. Stark, here! And people will say, oh my God, can't believe you've got an e-collar on that dog. There's a waterproof one, by the way. I can't believe you have to shock your dog to get him obedient and all the rest of it. This is what the e-collar's about. Enabling freedom, opening your dog's world up, not closing them down and suppressing behaviour. The main use of a tool like this, and of course it's how you use it, is to enable your dog more freedom and therefore more fulfillment, which will naturally dissipate most, if not all, of your dog's quote-unquote unwanted behaviours. Not really unwanted, they're just behaviours to your dog. And so I will get people in the comments saying, you're a dog abuser, you're an animal abuser, and so on and so forth. The remote's in my pocket, I'll be honest, it's off. It's not even on, look. It's off, right? I've not used it once, I've not had to, right? We've trained on it, it's the insurance that is there. The Starkey has impeccable recall. And because he has great recall, partially thanks to the e-collar, not totally thanks to the e-collar, he gets to have a much better, much more fulfilled life. And with the minimal time that you might have with your dog, again, we can do so much more when you have control of your dog. Controlling your dog isn't only to make your life easier, it's to make their life better. And when your dog has a great life, you will see much less unwanted behaviour. And of course, you'll see a happier dog and you will be happier. Right, let's do another. Right, not real. Ugh. Boy, right, we're down to our last 10 minutes. We've got to stick to the rules, so we'll go and get back. Stark, here, come on. Good man. Good boy. You're a shit swimmer. Come on. I'm not much better, though. Come on, buddy. Good lad. Shake by Susie. Do a big shake by Susie. Yeah, good boy. Right, last 10 minutes. He's gutted about his ball, look. Come on, let's find you another one. Big payoff in this video will be, will Stark find another ball? Good boy. Two very underestimated characteristics of dogs is, one, they're natural explorers. They want to go and search and look and investigate. And two, on the same lines, they're very naturally curious as well. So off-lead freedom allows them to express those desires, to be curious, to explore, to go and have a look. He can go down there, he can go and have a look, he can have a run around, he can have a rummage, because we've got the insurance there of the e-collar. And so just food for thought, right? You know, we're trying to get closer to starting a movement against boring lead walks. right? And just because I'm a balanced dog trainer that uses tools doesn't mean I use those tools to traipse those dogs around on a lead for shitty 20-minute walks around the block and just to smash every activity out. And that's not what it's about. It's about giving your dog the fucking best life possible and allowing them to be a dog, because that's what they are, a dog. This is what they want to do. They don't want to sit inside and fucking lick a licky mat. They don't want to sit and search for treats out of a rolled up towel. They want to be out, they want to be exploring, they want to be in the rain, they want to be in rivers, they want to be rolling in fox shit. That's not what a dog's made to do, is to be traipsed around the block and then to go and eat a peanut butter filled Kong as enrichment. That's not what they're meant for. And when we really turn the dial and aim towards fulfillment, like true fulfillment, like you're seeing in this video, and step away from obedience training for a little bit while, or like trying to deal with your dog's reactivity directly, should I say, because of course we need some foundational obedience to do this sort of stuff, then you will see a massive change in your dog, in their demeanor. All right, so this is what it's about. Carry on. We've got 5 minutes left. Let's go. So, quick one from me. If you're enjoying this video, kind of vlog style, it's kind of fun, and you know, you want to repay your debts towards poor Susie here, being traipsed around in the rain in the middle of pissing down England, carrying a big heavy camera, then do her a favour and hit that subscribe button. What'd you say, Susie?
Subscribe?
Subscribe, yeah, that'll do. Something going on over here, look. Put the dog into some obedience to keep everyone safe. Oh, whoa! Come here. Whoa! So what you've seen there is a nice long scenic walk, and obviously we're in the north of England. There's plenty of space for everyone. You know, I'm not going to go and move to London. I've got 7 dogs. But if you are in a built-up area, then your option is you put the dog on leash and you walk. You get the steps in. Perhaps you even get up out of bed 15 minutes earlier. It's as fucking simple as that. And you make this half an hour walk, 45 minutes. You'll be better for it. Your dog will be better for it. Your mental health will massively improve because if you're being exposed to sunlight. You're going to ditch the doom scrolling at bedtime unless you're watching one of our YouTube videos, and that's okay. We'll give you a pass for that. And you're gonna get up and you're gonna do right by your dog. Don't be lazy. Put the effort in, sort out your priorities. You don't need to scroll on social media. These guys are here for 12 summers, right? Or 24 winters if you live in the UK. Somebody's got to give somewhere. If you're looking, if you feel like, oh, I haven't really got enough time for the dog and all the rest of it, there is time out there. I guarantee you'll be wasting doing something that's not productive for you and your dog. That's probably social media, if I'm honest. It's the devil, huh? And that's coming from someone that's has a job in social media, I guess. You're a good boy, aren't you? Don't have a ball for you. I've got some bickies though. Good man. Love you. Come on. So listen, guys, we're actually stuck here on 27 minutes and 42 seconds, and we got a lot done in that time. And so, again, you probably don't need as much as you think. So this gives us a couple of minutes to get home when we're ready. And so I brought him back to one of our training fields here. Of course, like, we have the luxury of having some space. But again, like I said, that means you just stick the dog in the car, or you just get up a little bit earlier to get to space. That's fine. That's fine. I'm sure you can do that. You've got this. Don't make excuses. Do it for them. Don't do it for you. And it'll have a compounding effect in that the more you do this, implement routines like this, the less your dog will actually need, because they'll be a little bit tired from the last day. And they won't be getting up in the morning super recharged, ready to go because they did nothing the day before. And so as long as you're consistent from there on in, and then if on a weekend you've got even more time and you can make this 1 hour, 2 hours, I promise, like, it will genuinely change your life. And it's not me just speaking. It doesn't cost much, doesn't cost anything, right? You just get up, get out earlier. A toy costs $5, $10, whatever, £5 to play with your dog. Which brings us on to our very last drill at 29 minutes. We'll do it there. So We're on 44 minutes of work. We've got 16 minutes before we have to leave for work. Good old-fashioned scatter feeding. Now, before I move on to this exercise, I'm going to challenge you to do something. The next time you go for a walk, do it with your mouth closed. Exclusively breathe through your nose and go for a 15 to 20 minute walk. Genuinely try it and let me know in the comments what you found out. But basically, you're going to find out that it's so much more tiring. Your heart rate's going to be a little bit higher. Back when I used to play rugby, we used to do like nasal only breathing exercises. So we jump on a bike for 30 minutes because we only had 30 minutes instead of like an hour. We had to get our training done in time. We were studying and all the rest of it at the same time. Kirky, he was my trainer at the time, believe it or not, he used to put duct tape over my mouth. Right? Just stop me breathing through my mouth, and I had to breathe only through my nose. And the thought process behind it was, and it worked, it was incredibly effective, was because there was slight restriction there. Now, before I get onto this, I'm not going to duct tape my dog's mouth. Let me just clarify that. Because there was restriction there and I had to breathe only through my nose, you would get so tired so quick. And essentially, you would get in an hour-and-a-half session within a 30-minute session, right? Without putting loads of pressure on your joints. And so that's kind of what scatter feeding does for our dogs, because as they're searching for the food, and I'll demonstrate in a second, they're going to have their mouth closed for a lot of it. Not all of it, but for a lot of it. And so it's another huge bang for your buck exercise. And once you've implemented this after a little bit of physical exercise, play, right? And we tap into your dog seeking system. Like I spoke about in one of the previous videos, this really is a game changer when it comes to meeting your dog's needs. So how does it look? It's quite literally the most simple thing in the world. I'm going to take my dog's breakfast, which I've got here for him. I'm going to take it, I'm going to show him I've got it, and I'm just going to start scattering it in front of him, like so. I'm going to make it nice and easy for him. We're on 31 minutes and 40 seconds. That's included some waffling from myself, sorry. People say I talk too much, but understanding the theory behind everything is super important. Teach a man to fish and all that. And this cost you nothing because I'm using his kibble. Now again, if he didn't care about the kibble and didn't want the kibble, of course we've got a problem. So we've made a solution for you for that problem in the Behavior Bible, our fussy eater guide. You get your dog that's super fussy, the type of dog that you have to put sardines and gravy on top of their food just to get them to eat them, to then be working for kibble. You're going to be able to use more reinforcement throughout the day if you're able to do that. You're going to keep your dog's weight in check. You're going to keep your dog healthier by adding no extra additives or nasties with the Primula cheese and all the rest of it. And now I know within this hour, Stark's been fed, he's been walked, he's been played with, he's had his breakfast, he's gone to the toilet. All I need to do now is get him a drink, and I'm going to put him away. We'll set the camera up and we'll see how he gets on. We're at around 47.5 minutes. Notice how his mouth is closed. He's not really a sniffy dog. Now if I wanted to, and I'm not saying you should, if I wanted to, I could sit down and have my social media time. I'd rather watch my dog because I think he's pretty cool. And I know some people will say, doesn't this teach your dog to pick up food from the floor? But if we put it on cue, you notice Starkey out and about, wasn't looking for things, constantly off the floor. If we put it on cue and give a window of opportunity to do this, then that won't be a problem. So, in a second, we're going to wrap this up. Once he's found all his food, we're going to wrap this up. We're going to put him into his bedroom. Now, I probably would recommend putting him into a crate so he can't get up to no good and he can just snooze in there. However, we want to document and film this for you guys to see kind of what effect this has had on like a genuine working sport dog with all the drive in the world, really high desire to chase, like has every genetic component to be reactive to other dogs and people, but isn't. And I think that's largely down to him having other hobbies that fill that void that most other dogs don't. And so this is why what we're going through today is just so important for your dog. If you are working 9 till 5, my other recommendations and advice would be get someone in to let the dog out at lunchtime. they could play with the dog for 5 minutes, and they could scatter feed the dog for another 10 minutes, give them just half a portion of food, and that'll just buy you time for you to get home from work. And when you get home from work, you're going to do the same routine we've done this morning. If you're dealing with your dog's reactivity or anything, prioritize this first. You prioritize this first, you meet your dog's needs, you will see a totally different animal you're working with. And so this afternoon or this morning, if he did have behavioral issues, I'd let him have a nap, and then we're going to take him out later on and we'd work on that. And I would see a much different side to my dog, instead of taking him out the front door, putting a prong collar on him or whatever. And you guys know I don't have problems with the tools. Taking the dog out and just trying to knock it out of him for barking and lunging at other dogs. This is like, if we think about behavioral change as a pyramid, this is very much block one, making sure the dog's healthy, making sure they've got no injury, ailments or anything like that. They're getting enough sleep and they're just in a mentally sound mindset. And how do we get there with dogs? Well, we align what we do with them with what they're genetically predisposed to do: to chase, to hunt, to scavenge, to search, to find, to sleep, to play, right? And for me, I've got 7 dogs, and that is always like a day one priority for my dogs. Like, before I ask them to do anything extra, before I ask them to be a good, well-behaved pet dog and to be able to lie down on place for an hour, for half an hour, or to be able to come to a pub with me while we sit under my feet. Some dogs are going to naturally do that, all right? And don't get caught up on those type of dogs. They're just genetically a little bit more inclined to be more relaxed. There you go, he's rolling in poop, look. And so with all of my 7 dogs, number one on the priority list is like, am I meeting their needs? Before I do any sport with him, before I do any kind of obedience, the fancy stuff you saw earlier, is can I meet my dog's needs? And how do we do that? Well, everything we've covered in today's video. Apologies, it's probably going to end up being a long one. Sorry, Suzanne. But I think it's important to push this across to people. Are we all done? Are we ready for snoozies? Yeah, we're ready for snoozies. You're a good man. Come on then. Good boy, good boy, good boy, good boy. Right, it's bedtime. Okay, all done. Gonna leave him in his bedroom. Hi, buddy. And yeah, we're just gonna leave the camera rolling and see what he does. We'll do a time lapse. I'm gonna make this a 5-hour long video, but we're just gonna go up until lunchtime from when I get my imaginary friend or dog walker to come out and come over and let him out, let him have a drink and do a little bit more play with him. But I have a feeling he'll probably be okay. I have a feeling he's probably gonna have a little bit of a nap. He does like a cuddle, don't you? Good boy. Good lad. Okay, bye. Be a good boy. So, can it work? Maybe. But let's be real, what you've just seen is just one day in my dog's life, not every single day. So consistency matters, but so does variety. And no single routine is a silver bullet. The exercises I showed you in this video are a solid start, especially if you're tight on time, but they're not the full picture. If you want a dog who's not just behaved, but actually fulfilled, you'll need more tools in your kit. So in the next video right here, I'll share 4 powerful ways to meet your dog's physical and emotional needs, even if you're working full time, and how to turn just making it work into something your dog actually thrives in. So if you Click this video, your dog will thank you for it, I promise.